So watch this video. My proof and my evidence, things that I say on this platform, that I don't create them myself, but they are realities on the ground, that I only amplify it. That makes some people think that I don't like some countries. Please pay attention and listen, and I'll be back.
You would not know how much Nigeria has traumatized you until you leave Nigeria. Until you venture out of the country, you would not know how much damage this country has done to our minds, our brain as a collective. 2023, I left Nigeria for the first time in my life. I did not even leave the continent. I went to Kenya. I was in Kenya for 2 months. I stayed in Nairobi. Everything was fine. Beautiful country. I can't wait to visit again. I love especially the trees. These people, they have like a good appreciation for nature. It's not like Nigeria where everything is just our love for concrete. It's crazy to me, but these people have like a good appreciation for nature. I saw in Nairobi there are trees, it's breezy, it's beautiful, the air is clean. But then something changed at my 2 weeks mark in Nairobi, because in Nairobi there is constant light. I have never in my entire life experienced constant light. I went to Kenya with my power bank in preparations, not for if they would take the lights, but for when they would take the lights, because I did not know this at the time, but I had thought unconsciously that that was something that was going to happen, because that's what I'm used to. So I went in preparation, so when they do take the lights, I would be able to charge my phone. So even though, yes, I was having an amazing time in Nairobi, I love the fact that there was always lights. I love the fact that whenever I go to bed at night, there was lights. Whenever I wake up in the morning, there is still lights. I could come out of my Airbnb at 1, 2, 3, whenever time at night, and the streets are well lit. It's still bright and beautiful. It got to a point where I could no longer handle that amount of lights. I had not realized it then, but Nigeria had wired my brain for the arrangement of sometimes you see light, sometimes you don't. So that's what I'm used to. That's what my nervous system is used to. So when I saw constant light, at first it was fun, but at some point my brain was like, okay, so when is it going? When are they going to turn off the lights? They never took the lights, which was a good thing, but for my nervous system it wasn't, because I wasn't used to seeing this much light for this long periods of time. So I could not handle it. I did not know how to deal with having this much light. I can't believe I'm saying this, but it got to a point where I started waiting for them to take the lights. And when they didn't, I started hoping for them to take the lights. I started wishing for them to take the light. Because at some point, I could not breathe with it being there as constantly as it was anymore. And I wanted to breathe so badly. I wish some mental health professionals can maybe explain to me exactly what this thing, that experience was. Like, there have to be some kind of name and explanation to it, because, like, what the fuck? This was something that all my life I had been dreaming about having in the country, dreaming about experiencing something like that, and I finally experienced it, and I did not know. I don't want to cry online. I did not know how to deal with it, with having it. This was the experience that made me understood for the first time in my life exactly why those kids that did not grow up in the country, when they come to the country for the first time, they react the way they do whenever they take lights. How terrified they look when they take lights. We brush it off and we say, oh, they are exaggerating, or they are just being sport brat or whatever. But no, they are the normal ones. We are the ones that are used to craziness. And you don't know it is craziness until you leave. That's what happened to me when I was in Kenya. I had to experience that. And that's when I knew that I was like fucked up in the brain. I did not know just how... I didn't know just how bad the country has done us. Like, God, I don't want to cry on camera. See, I swear Nigeria is supposed to compensate us for the damage that they've done. And this is just one example. If you start wanting to peel all of them back, like, it gets very, 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 very sad. I remember when I was in GSS 2. That's when I saw a dead body for the first time in my life. I was around 12 years old ish, thereabout. It was on my way to school rather. In the morning, I was with a neighbor friend, classmate of mine. We go to school together and come back home together. This particular morning, we saw this guy that we see most mornings on our way to school and on our way back from school. The guy wasn't he had struggles, more specifically mental health struggles. So he was homeless, but he had taken this particular spot by the side of the road, and that was like his home, I guess. So we saw this guy most times every day. But this particular morning, when we saw him, he was just laying there on the spot. At first, we thought he was maybe sleeping or something. But then, on our way back from school, we saw him still there on that same spot in the same position, and we were wondering like what was wrong. So I thought maybe he was sick, but didn't think much of it, and we went home until we were coming back to school the next morning, and we saw him still there. And that's when we were like, oh, he's not asleep, he's probably dead. That guy stayed there for a good couple of days, almost a week. His body even started changing, started smelling eventually, to the point where when we went to, before we get to that spot, we had to cross to the other side of the road because it was bad. But he was there for a very long time before he was finally picked up. That's the kind of country we live in. Like, everything is such a mess. There's no good roads, healthcare, where educational system, let's not even talk about that for mental health. Emergency units, emergency number, like one cannot even say like ish isn't working, because for ish to work, that ish has to first exist. I cannot say this remote isn't working if I don't have this remote, can I? That's how bad it is in the country. Like, the barest of the bare minimum is not even available. So let's start from there. It's not working. No, it's not there. But we have all gotten used to the chaos, the dysfunction, the madness. It's just so sad, like, really, when you think about it, and you don't really know until you leave. You never really know. I remember coming back to Nigeria. I see why when people leave this country, they don't want to come back. It was just Kenya I went to, and I was there for 2 months. Yes, eventually I got used to the light. Eventually, I accepted that, oh, this is it. It took me a good while. I had to do a lot of mental work. It took me a good while, but eventually I got there. And when I came back to the country, I started getting peace from the airport. That's when because from the airport, I hate that I'm crying in this video, but I can't help it. It's just, when I landed in the airport, there was this is crazy. I'm crying because I'm paid. Like, nobody should be living like we're living in this country. It's just not fair. And that was just Kenya. So imagine what it's like for people who actually live the shores of Africa. Like, we are suffering, guys. Like, it's bad. It's so bad. I hate it. I'm crying. I don't even know if I'm going to post this video because this is so embarrassing. And then this is what freaking giants. Giants of what exactly? Guys, we're suffering. And some people want to say, oh, like, especially with this Anthony Joshua situation, they are playing it off like it's one of the accidents happen. Like, that's not the point. The point is there was no help coming. Like, we're so freaking here alone. It's just some people say, oh, have money and you're okay in Nigeria. No, the fuck you are not. Anthony Joshua has money that some of us can only dream of, and see what happened to his friends. Like, that man is so traumatized for life. It's sad.